to Sydney. Your P90 pals, your Bison buddies, your Deagle dudes all coming together in one place. How Complexity even made best friends with the crowd yesterday to see them... Wait, they've got to play G2 today against hometown hero JKS. Ah,
fun and games, Rhea. Fun and games. It's a wonderful day here in Sydney and the fans are going to the arena. Who is going to take it, G2 or Complexity?
Complexity. Complexity.
Wait. Who's it taking?
G2, Justin all the way.
Complexity.
G2.
Renegades! Renegades!
They're out! They're out! Wait, okay. Who?
Complexity.
Oh, the fans are really cheap. What about you?
D's.
I see.
D's.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
They're not even here. Nevertheless, we returned to the Intel Extreme Masters in Sydney, Australia. The East Coast certainly hotting up, as we'll be discovering by the end of this weekend who's going to be lifting the first Tier 1 trophy of Counter-Strike 2. Before we get to that, we've got to be diving into the semi-finals today. We've got Complexity taking on G2. If you thought the crowd was loud yesterday, be prepared for them to blow the bloody doors off, because JKS has arrived in style in the building. After that, of course, we're going to be seeing FaZe take on Mouse. But that audience, oh my lord. I was walking outside this morning, I walked to the arena, jerseys everywhere. This crowd is something to behold. My name is Ferris Spears, joined by
what's that?
Of YNK to be opening up this day. And
we'll start and we'll finish good night.
I kind of feel bad for that guy. Is
0.01, 0.01, 0.01, 0.01.
I guess Kasad,
Okay, what's that? Not bad.
You account for Renegades, I guess?
You want to tell that fan? They're not here. Yeah?
Man needs to be respected.
He's
you know,
still
the
got
memory
jersey,
of Renegades is
A
on.
connoisseur of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. You know what? He's thrown it back to the good old days. Gentlemen, we had such an amazing first day in the arena yesterday, and somehow the crowds got even bigger. I didn't think that was possible, Yanko.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now when JKS is obviously going to play and G2, they went straight to the semis, and everyone wants to see a hometown hero do well, and I think JKF's absolutely with G2 in a position to go all the way here at IEM Sydney.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's take a look at today's headlines, because plenty of Counter-Strike on the cards in the semi-finals. Of course, up first, Complexity getting another shot at G2. We saw both of these squads going toe-to-toe in the group stage. G2 taking things 2-0, but now Complexity maybe a chance of redemption, but that's going to be a tough one. Of course, all the newspapers are saying it. It is JKS's return, the sole surviving Australian returning to Sydney for the first time in 5 years. 2018 was the last time he played in front of this crowd. Of course, later on today, we've got another semi-final for you guys, a rematch of a match we saw go down at EPL. It's FaZe versus Mouse. Now, FaZe, they were unforgiving, to put it lightly, yesterday. The first ever 13-0 in a Tier 1 LAN environment, and they took down ENCE in style. So I hope Mouse have got what it takes to be standing up to them today. Kasad, what are you most looking forward to coming into today?
Man, oh man, that first of all, that brutal victory from FaZe yesterday it was over in 23 minutes. If you don't count the break, it was crazy. Anyway, what I'm looking forward to today is pretty much the same thing. Just want a little bit more Counter-Strike. It was just super quick, like super fast. It was all over before I even got my dinner, right? So I just want a little bit more, at least a 3-mapper. That would be my, kind of wish for today.
Hey, how did you like lunch today?
Oh yeah, it was a big sausage.
We all thoroughly enjoyed that one, didn't we?
I'm going to go the other way. I'm looking forward to seeing FaZe play again today, to see if they can replicate or even come close to replicate what they've shown us yesterday in that series against ENCE, because if they can, whoever is on the other side of that grand final is going to have a tough day in the office.
Talk about a resurgence in twists yesterday as well, because holy hell, it looked like he was, waiting for the big stage to show up and go, yeah, actually, this is how I'm going to play CS2, and you should be damn scared.
Yeah, the people were saying a lot of things about him
I fell back to black.
in the Twitter and all this stuff, but he was saying, like making up sort of excuses after the CSGO, like towards the end, and they were like, super weak in a way, and then he was like making excuses like, listen, we need to translate this to CS2, I'm getting sick and tired. People were like on him, but he delivered in the very first game on the stage. So.
Yeah, and I think also we heard Carrigan in an interview with HLTV talk about, how they had problems with communication, motivation, but those are connected, meaning when they talk more in-game, when they communicate better, when there's more energy, that's when they play their best Counter-Strike. And this is true for pretty much every single team out there, even more so for international teams. So now with CS2, it's a little bit more exciting, more innovation. That's when the energy gets higher. That's when they start playing better, and they played I guess, their A game yesterday.
And I think for me on the flip side, you know, we've seen Snappy talking about it so much, the fact that he doesn't like MR12 so much because if you can't get your foot on the gas or anywhere near the pedal early in the half, things aren't going to be going your way, and it's kind of cruel that we got the most obvious example coming from him.
I'm tired of that because at the end of the day, it's 3 rounds. Okay, it's not 5 rounds. It's not like you have, sure, if you win all 3 by making this one adjustment, you know, if you make an adjustment and win the 1 round, your opponents are probably going to do something different as well. So I think that's a little bit overblown, you know, that you can't adjust or can't do something because of 3 rounds.
First of all, it's not 3 rounds, it's 6 rounds, because there's 2 halves. That's the first thing. The second thing is definitely the economy and the pistol rounds. They have so much more impact right now on the game and how the game will develop. And the pistol rounds are super random. Nobody plays the default positioning on the pistol round because they have limited utility. They're obviously on pistols, and they don't have Kevlars most of the time. So there's a lot of things that are randomly being put into that pistol, and it affects so much further on. So overall, it's not going to stay on MR12 with this economy. So it's going to be either MR15 or different economy.
Okay, I don't want to start a fight too early on. So we should pull this one off, and maybe we should check in with the fans because Aheku's been catching up with them ahead of these semi-finals today.
Red luck.
So, who's going to be, Complexity or G2?
G2.
G2, all right. What about you?
Sorry?
G2 or Complexity?
G2.
Of course G2, of course G2.
G2. Okay, guys, how is it to have Counter-Strike back in Sydney?
Amazing!
All right. Who are you going to support today? Is it going to be G2 or Complexity?
G2. G2.
Any hipsters? Anyone supporting Complexity? It is G2. Our audience is going full bananas, boys. is it nice to see Sydney greet CS2 again?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Black luck.
What I want to know is, guys, what are you supporting? Is it G2 or is it Complexity?
Obviously G2 for JKS, but only if they play Inferno. We need some banana players.
Banana Rush. P90 Banana Rush.
What about you?
G2 for sure.
We want to see our boy JKS pop heads. Absolutely, same as the boys.
Anyone here supporting Complexity? We have a few. Are we excited to see CS back in Sydney? All right, and which team are we supporting today? Is it gonna be G2 or is it gonna be Complexity?
G2.
Am I guessing it right? Is it G2?
Complexity.
Ooh! Wait. And what about you?
Complexity, baby.
We found them! We found the Complexity fans. Thank you.
P90 Banana Rush, man after my own heart. Complexity fans, though, I'm surprised to hear that name coming out a lot.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Casadio fan club is out there in full force.
Oh, the banana squad?
The banana squad.
Could this hit green?
I wonder how do you take your seat? How do you sit on your seat with that banana on there?
I don't know, maybe you should ask him.
I will. The big banana.
Do you see the bucket hats as well?
Go.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
hit.
am bucket hats. We should bring that to more events. Yeah, I mean, for Complexity yesterday, they were, you know, the fans of fan favorites rather of the arena. They were receiving a lot of cheers. I'm thinking that ain't gonna happen today, Kasad. If I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
If I'm like that to do the percentages, I think it's 85. Like 89-11 in favor of J2.
Okay.
When it comes to the crowd, that's my fair assessment.
Maybe 93-7 perhaps.
Well, yeah.
And a half.
It could be, but definitely they're not going to support Complexity all that much like they did yesterday. Elish is not going to get that much support like they did yesterday because everything is going to go towards JKS,
For the content.
Nico, and the rest of the squad.
No matter how much they rub his head, Freya, he's not going to get any cheers today. It's going to be all G2 and JKS.
I hope he's prepared for that. You know, I think we should dive into some CS2 statistics.